those out too, because there's the boxes. This is going the wrong direction, aren't I? Looks good. Just brightens the room up. I know. We're gonna take the camera. That'd be great. Or do you put it over there? And the pictures over there. We can hide in the staff with the body. I need to get a picture of everybody again tonight because Erin wants a different one too. Because it's right on the road. No, she wanted to do it for different things.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please. Yes. 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 This time I would like to visitors that would like to the board. There will be none. We'll move on to the financial report. Mrs. Baker.
In the fund balance, we're showing a 5.14% decrease over last year with a net fund balance of $20,052,965.29. Operating funds, we're showing a 5.78% decrease over last year with a net total of $18,110,300.81. Revenues in the Ed Fund. Local revenue, we received $494,348.21. State revenue, $21,556.79. And federal revenue, we received $228,672.87. Those expenses over $5,000 in your financial packet. Recommendation would be to reimburse the interest account in the amount of $749.91 and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,121,918.02.
Right. Thank you.
Thanks, Bud.
All right, my notes don't say that.
It doesn't get changed in the financial report. This is
Okay.
Sure. Okay, so recommendation would be to reimburse the interest account in the amount of $749.91 and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,121,918.02.
Thank you. Sorry about that. I'm looking at this. Okay, does anyone have any questions about the financial reports? Okay, there being none, I'm looking for a motion and second to approve the financial report to reimburse the interest account to the amount of $749.09 and the payment of bills in the amount of $1,121,918.02. Motion by Chad. Second by Erica. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Okay, next on the agenda is the consent agenda. Inside your packet, you'll have minutes, and a fundraiser report. You have minutes from, the 6/24 regular board meeting, closed session minutes from that meeting, and the special meeting, 7/8, and closed session the fundraiser with the, junior high softball team would like to have an apparel dinner from July 24th to August 22nd this year, and that's to raise money for the softball team. And the Central Student Council would like to sell stencils and Snickers to raise funds for the student council, and that's going to run throughout the fall and February and April. Any questions about their consent agenda? There being none, I'm looking for a motion and second to approve the consent agenda. Motion by Andrew. Well, I heard motion. I heard it from both directors. So we'll take the motion from Andrew and the second from Steve. Does that work for everyone? Roll call?
Yes.
Yes. The correspondence to the board, we have thank you notes from the Fred Moore family. And from the Dan and Susan Weaver. Next on the agenda is the superintendent report.
We're going to start with Mr. Ryan, health officer. He's going to give us a service update. Something now like we probably should have done the course of the year. Food service a couple times, text a couple times. I have to take on here for tonight, but we will not do that because we're going to transition that, so we'll get a check update back. Ryan, turn the floor over to you.
First of all, I'd like to thank you all for helping me to be accountable and helping me to accomplish what I want to accomplish. I think we've been successful with what we do. I'd like to talk for a second about CEP since we took on CEP, which is the community eligibility provision. We took that on. We received free meals for everyone except for high school kids that are eating off of the car line. And over the course of the 4 or 5 year term that we have, it's going to save our community around $4 million. So it's a pretty large thing that happened. And what it's allowed us to do as just for the high school, we're now able to tell people that you can't go through the out of car line if you don't have any money in your account. You don't to and you get the free meal. What does that do for us? The year before we had $18,000 in paid school lunch debt. So this year, $150 and $75 one person that continue to write that checks and be consistent. So that tells you how much that tells us about just in that area. That's $18,000 that we can use somewhere else. So breakfast we get $2.09, and lunches we get $3.26, which is down about 70 to 75 cents a meal over what we did if they were paying for it. But now, because of that, what's happened is breakfast sales are up because they're free, and every building at least double. And in a couple buildings, Central and EHS are true. So what we're doing on top of that is this year we went to having 3 breakfast options in all buildings where they can get a breakfast sandwich also instead of what they would normally get. So you get a croissant or a biscuit with egg and cheese and meat on it, which is outstanding. And also this year we started with Belgian waffles at the high school, which is very popular. So we saved the budget this year in all categories except for food costs. So we're going to work a little harder on that this year. One of the things that I'm very active in is getting samples in and going to the buildings. I love to go to the buildings. I love to meet with the kids. I love to get feedback from the teachers on what they like and didn't like. That way the kids are having a say in what they're getting. So it kind of helps them with buying into it a little bit. So, and I also do a survey with the junior high kids and the high school kids on their laptops where they can hear the feedback. And they can ask us to speak with me and also. Most of the equipment, I kind of inherited a mess as far as equipment goes. Some of our buildings, of course, the high school, everything in there was original to the building. So we're talking 21, 22 years old when I took over. So all this equipment is the life expectancy on this equipment is about that. So we're at that stage now. So you're probably seeing a lot of things, and even tonight you're going to see ovens on there. I've been replacing those things as fast as I can, as long as I'll still let me. So we kind of butt heads a little bit, but that's good. I need that a little bit in my life. So if you go to the high school now, you'll see the salad bar. The salad bar is all totally revamped. I bought a brand new salad bar. It's stainless steel. It's refrigerated, where we had a crappy plastic camera salad bar that you put a little ice in. Nothing stayed cold, nothing stayed that way. Now everything stays cold all the time. I also put in a double soup pot, I get 2 soup choices every day, and there's a warmer there with hot red sticks. So when there's new signage there, there's a big flame Effingham part that lights up the wall. The bakery at high school and also revamped it. I put we used to have two single ovens in it. I took those out, I put a double oven in there, and I put a cooler in, a freezer in, and a proof box. So it's a full bakery now, and things can go from one to the next as a stage and be ready to go in. So more efficient, way better equipment. Well, refrigerated condiment stations. So you have 12 condiment stations at the junior high and 2 of them at the high school, and tables with the napkins and all that stuff. So very, very much something I wanted to do, keep the condiments cold, keep them, who wants hot ketchup? So it's kind of nasty, but the kids really loved it. I did it at the end of last year at high school, and the kids really loved it. Their only complaint was the lack of second station, so I purchased the second station now. So, Central School, I'm coming out plan for Central School. I put in a new double oven because it didn't work very well. And then their original stove top had 6 burners and flat surface over and 2 ovens down below that didn't work at all. Haven't worked at all since I've been here. So I ripped all that out. The stove is being put in as we speak this week. I bought a 6 burner with a convection oven. So now they have 3 convection ovens. And next year on the budget, I'll put another steamer in. So we'll have healthier vegetables, things like that. My long-term goal is to have a steamer in each building so that we can do that. You can heat up bag soup mixes and things like that. And also, it's just way more efficient and way more cost effective. Last thing, I committed this year to some better choices, I feel. I'm going to a quarter-pound steak burger across the district. So no more little puny, dried up, nasty hamburgers. They're going to get a quarter-pounder with a steak burger that's juicy. Don't chew it off, it's delicious. At the high school, you go to the a la carte line, you'll have condiments, you'll have lettuce, tomato, and onion able to take with the same price. Also, I also committed to buying whole muscle chicken. So what that would mean, like if you go to Chick-fil-A, you get the chicken nuggets, you're getting a chunk of chicken. You're not getting smashed up beets and feet and everything. So you're getting actual chicken. You know? So a chicken strip is a strip of white meat chicken. The chicken breast is a breast. It's breaded breast. It's 100% better. It's better quality. I think the kids are going to love it more. I think you're going to have teachers want to eat it more. I just think it sells better. And I negotiated prices with the distributor to get better prices. So I'll keep on top of that. That's pretty much all I have. I just want to say thanks again for helping me to be successful. Allowing me to do what I love.
Thank you, Ryan.
I would also add that Ryan does a lot of other things when called upon. We've had the CEO, I heard from the CEO both years that I've been here in this office, and Ryan fed them. I don't know how many course meal it was, but there's a lot of options, I should say, biscuits and gravy and eggs and things of that nature over here on the side. I think we, to my knowledge, I think we've surpassed any place that the CEO has been to eat and things of that nature when they're there, so I appreciated that. Many of you were involved in the IASB that you provided the food, I believe it was last year.
Last fall, I think.
Maybe.
Yep.
Yep.
Location and food.
Absolutely. So I'm extremely proud of what Ryan does, and it's an ongoing conversation with us about, he's got people in here, how often do you have your vendor or people that come here to do tests, pilots on food and taste tests?
Because I'm also the head of the set of food co-op. So when I started here 3 years ago, this will be our fourth school year. When I started 3 years ago, 13 school districts. So I'm the head of that. So I get a lot of people interested in pulling on my ear. So we're in the process of getting the new convection oven for here for upstairs, and I have a freezer already upstairs. So that they can come in and prepare the food and we can serve them here. And I wanted the office staff to come in and get things and tell me what they think about it. Because nobody will eat it doesn't do anybody. So.
Our new career in technical education, which that's not exactly what the title we had for that person, reached out just recently, as in today, I believe. She's got the desire to host the Alliance Group, which if you're familiar with the Alliance Group, I believe Jackie might be thinking of that. Host them, and we're looking into potentially his food service providing the food for that lunch. So it's community based. We're trying to provide opportunities for other ventures in the district. So thanks, Ryan.
Thanks. Your kids are broadening their horizons too and trying some different things other than chicken nuggets.
Well, I was going to say too is thanks to Ryan. You know, it's one thing to have food for the students, but it's another thing to have food that students like. Because I think it's intricate that they have food, which helps their learning curve. You know, I really do. So,
100%.
kudos to you.
See anything that I've written before, my thought is that you can't learn on any stuff. So, if we get them eating healthy and eating when they're going into class, when they're going into testing, all these things, the results are so much better as a district.
Well, I was just going to say that Gene and I, every year for testing in the spring, we go over for 2 or 3 days, right?
Three Wednesdays in a row. Yeah, and go all out. They eat for fruit. So, yeah.
We're getting ready to go.
Great.
He does it well.
Thank you very much. We appreciate you and your team.
Thanks, Ryan. I'm going to slide in, since Tech's not here tonight, I'm going to slide in because I have 2 guests in the audience that I would like to introduce with and in the open session. They are going to go to the closed session for the conversation tonight. But to the left is Michelle Todd, and to the right is Tony Louise. We just secured, the board just secured, I believe it was the last regular board meeting for their firm, Hodges and Louise. There's more to it, right? Okay. That's enough? Okay. Thanks. That's how I always, it's easier that way. But I thought it would be neat for them to meet you in open session, and I don't know if there's anything you'd like to share with the group. We've got teachers, we've got.
place. And we're glad to show you. Very exciting. You, Sean, and I are very excited. Not something in it. As second. And although it's only been a few weeks, just personally, I've had this, been very impressed and very much enjoyed working. So it's been great. We've got a really good team there. And then also, we're excited to get to know everybody else in the district. People were, my specialty is neighborhood, or governance. So to the extent there was any needs, that's what I work at. And I try to work in a very collaborative manner. And really, spending the last couple of weeks trying to get the lay of the land and understand what's going on in the district. And really, I'm excited to know everybody and start to work through it. And we have two bucket programs that are coming up at the end of the year. Personally, I've got 3 kids. One in 7th grade, one is a freshman, along with feels like he's much older than that. And I've got a senior in high school. And I just, you guys know, but my time between northern Illinois and central Illinois. North, I also spend half my time down in Springfield, Rochester, one of my area. And finally, I'm very excited to visit the high school cafeteria.
You know, as Tony said, go right, and we have been nonstop, housing around, all of the new and exciting issues that we're doing. That's right. Very excited. So I just, I go again, excited to be here. And there's so much going on. So thank you again for very excited.
You don't mind, if we have those of you sitting in the audience, that they won't be here after closed session. They're gonna go to closed session with us, and we're gonna do them, help us first, and then get them on the road, because he's going to Peoria, and he's going to Springfield or something. So I would like to get them rolling as quick as possible, but I really would like them to meet all of you, including Greg, here in the front row, because these are important people in our community and our school district. And again, I think it's all about that bond between the people who are making decisions, which are attorneys, are heavily involved in making decisions with us. And I like to have faces, especially from the collective bargaining standpoint. We start down that road hopefully later this year, fiscal year, maybe even before Christmas, if we can do something. So, all right, if we have them introduce themselves real quick. And
So I'm very excited.
He's very important.
Megan Atkins, technology integration is now for. I'm
For the next 30 years, she was at Southside this past year. And you've got Ryan in the back. We're back tomorrow. Thank you all. Appreciate that.
Anything else on the superintendent?
Good.
That's it?
Good.
Okay, we'll move along to new business. The first item on the new business is the approval of the fuel bid.
So we received 2 bids. The winning bid goes to South Central FS. Recommendation would be to approve and accept bid from South Central FS. It's included in the board packet.
Is there any questions? I'm looking for a motion and a second to accept South Central FS's bid to provide unit 40 fuel for the 24-25 or fiscal year. Okay. Motion by Erica. Second by Ken. Roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew? Joe?
Yes.
James? Jack?
Next on the agenda is the adoption of board policy updates and changes on press. Last month, we posted the policies for review and public comments. Any questions about them? Okay, I'm looking for a motion and a second to adopt the following board policies as presented. 270, 2125, 2160, 2250, 415, 440, 470, 480, 4140, 520, 530, 535, 5120, 5130, 5180, 5200, 5250, 5285, 5310, 6110, 6120, 6140, 6150, 6170, 6230, 6280, 6300, 740, 7170, 7240, 7250, 7270, 7280, 825, and finally page 95. Motion by Steve. Second by Chad. Roll call. Steve.
Yes.
Erica? Yes. Andrew?
Yes.
Joe?
Yes.
Judy? Yes. Jack?
Yes.
Yes.
The next item on the agenda is the first reading of our board policy update on district cell phone procedure. And that item is 560 expenses. There's no action needed for this item. If the board supports this amendment, board action will be needed for the 8/19/24 board meeting. Do you want to explain that?
Yes. We currently have a mixed bag of how we do this in the school district, which actually lots of school districts do, and I'm trying to clean this process up a little bit. Whether we provide administrators, maintenance, people, different categories with a cell phone provided by a school district, or whether we would pay for a stipend for those cell phones. In the transition of my technology director baby, it came to my knowledge, and I've seen the list, and I would like to maybe get the purchasing of cell phones off of the district's responsibilities as soon as possible and do a stipend. So it really is almost a wash if you take a look at it, because we're either paying for the cell phone cell service or giving somebody a stipend. You can establish that stipend. We've given you suggestions. If you want to do less, you want to do more, we can do that. Obviously, if you did less, then it gets it down closer to exactly what we spend right now. If you want to do more, it would cost us a little bit more than what we spend right now. I do want that to be a process that's grandfathered, because we do have some people in the district, administrative wise, that utilize their cell phones, and they carry 2 cell phones. If we want to get deep into the weeds, we can ask our attorneys that are here with us tonight on what can happen if information is needed off of a cell phone. But basically, in a nutshell, from my experiences, and you tell me if I'm wrong, but if you're working for our district and you use your personal cell phone, your information is void. If we give you a cell phone and you're using the cell phone that we gave you, your cell phone is void. So there really isn't a huge advantage to being in a situation where you have, I've tried it over the years and it's a headache to carry 2 phones. I just finally said, yeah, if you want to know what I'm doing, for you my phone and give you what I've got, not hiding anything. So different people believe different ways. And we can still have some people that would like to keep cell phones of this nature. We also also want to keep them in, I believe we got them in each building, in the case that we would ever, God forbid, we would ever lose phone service, like we did a year ago. So we would like to keep one, and then we would keep some for maintenance and some other. The proposal is what's in front of you, basically. But what would need to happen is the board policy 560 would change for us to be in a position to be able to do what we're talking about. And it'd be the first reading, and then we bring it back next month for the final reading.
So this is the first reading, no action, and we'll move forward, possibly move forward with that at the next meeting. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of resolution for the State Bank and District Bank as authorized depository orders, investment managers, dealers, and brokers.
There's two call reports attached, so every year we need to have all of our financial institutions that we currently use approved. Those are the two that are sending call reports up to date. In case we need to invest or utilize them for any reason in the board approval.
Any questions? Looking for a motion and a second to approve Midland State Bank and Dietrich Bank as qualified vendor to invest. Motion by Chad. Second. Second by Erica, roll call.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Karen.
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
Okay, we're moving on to the approval to purchase two new gas convection ovens at EJHS gas line. One. The explanation there.
They're 20+ years old and they need attention. We've got them built into next year's budget. So the total cost we're looking at $10,200. Each, I'm sorry, each. For a total cost of $20,400.
Okay. Does anyone have any questions about that?
We would pay that on the one budget. It's established every year with Ryan's help and Kelsey establishes. Food for thought, I do believe this is sales tax eligible expenditure. If we were to have the sales tax, food for thought, as prefaced earlier, there's going to be lots more equipment that needs to be upgraded in our facilities as we move forward. And they could be the SFTL. But this will come out of the O&M right now. Property tax money spent on this one.
All right, any questions? Looking for a motion, a second to approve the purchase of new gas induction ovens for the EJHS kitchen at a cost of $10,200 each for a total of $20,400 from Central Restaurant Supply. Motion by Andrews. Second by James, roll call.
Bill.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Steve.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the last, or the next item is the adjourn to closed session. And that would be for 3 different topics. One is the appointment, employment, compensation, discipline, performance, or dismissal of specific employees of the district. For collective negotiating matters between a public body and its employees and their representatives, or deliberations concerning salary schedules for one or more classes of employment. And the last item on closed session is discussion of minutes of meetings lawfully closed, whether for purposes of approval by the body of the minutes or semi-annual review of the minutes as mandated by section 2.06. I'm looking for a motion and a second to enter into closed session.
Motion.
Motion by Chad,
Second.
second by Erica, roll call.
Bill.
Yes.
Jane, yes. Jen.
Yes.
Justin.
Yes.
Steve.
Yes.
Carolyn.
Yes.
Andrew.
I wish I had that report, because I have a closed session, potential action on this. you, Michelle. And we'll get started with you. And we can get on. Thank you all.